So this is what I want this to be about. Me and my wife were discussing, and reparations for slavery in the African American community. All right. I do not believe that people who never owned slaves should have to pay reparations to people who were never slaves. However, what I do believe is that we have tariffs and the ability to do tariffs. And as a country, a sin that has not been rectified. At the time of 1865, between $1 to $5 an acre. Okay? So at $1 in that time today would be worth $200 now. So that would be $10,000. At $5, we'd be talking about $50,000. All right. So how would we get $50,000 for all 51 million African Americans? Right? We've got to do the math. And three, four, five, six. Extra zero. Okay, that's $2.55 trillion. All right. Last year, we brought in over $200 billion in tariffs. Okay. So last year, we were able to bring in 200 billion. And that was with being restricted on how we apply our tariffs and not leaving high tariffs that bring money into the country. But if we could get $2.5 trillion in tariffs and split that out between the 51 million Americans, that would be $50,000 a piece. And that would pay the reparations. It would right the wrong without harming anybody in America. That would correct our historical error and bring about a rejuvenation of unity in this country. I truly believe this is the way forward. If we do this while we are in political power, this unites the country. It unites them with the idea that we are actually free and equal. It unites us under the idea that in this country, we honor our word. And when we freed the slaves, we told them we were going to give them 40 acres and a mule. So we should honor that. And how we should honor that is through tariffs. We should collect tariffs for importation of goods from foreign countries and use that money to pay the reparations. If we divided it out, we would be able to give out $10,000 to every American from the tariffs we brought in last year. $10,000 to every African American. Yeah. Yeah. And it can $10,000 a year, $10,000 would be a payment then if we couldn't. But just from what we brought in last year, we could do the equivalent of what would be at the $1 range for every African American that we have. At the $5 range, which is what is $1 to $5 on average for land in 1865 for 1 acre. Now, I understand acres are worth a lot more money now, but the value of them then versus now, this is something that we could financially afford to do. Even at our current rate, it would take 10 years and we would be able to pay it back, pay it off. At our current rate, 10 years and it would be paid off. For 10 years, every African American would get $10,000 by paying out the tariffs. Or if we raised our tariffs to 10 times what we're charging right now, we would get that money in 1 year. And then it could be paid out next year. And everybody wants to talk against tariffs. Tariffs are how you bring money into your country. Yes, apparently they can be very dangerous. Thank you. What my thoughts are is if we can get this idea to Trump, they just took away his ability to charge licensing fees. Through licensing fees, he could have done this very easily and then set aside that money for reparations because that's licensing fees to foreign governments. Why is it that all of us have to pay a license fee for a plumber's license, a doctor's license, driver's license? Anything you get a license for to do HVAC, auto repair, you got to pay to get it. You got to pay to get your contractor's license. You got to pay all these license fees. You got to pay if you want to sell liquor. You got to get a liquor license, right? But we can't charge a foreign government a license fee to license something to them. But through tariffs, we could do the same thing. So, I mean, it's not even a difficult ask. We have 51.63 million African Americans, okay, which is 15% of our total population. 40 acres in 1865. I'm trying to get to the right page. There. Even at top rate, would be no more than $200,000. Yeah, you don't need to do the mules, do the price of a mule in 1865. Add that on to the 40 acres. Or you could just eat the mule. Or you could get them a modern day mule like a gator. You know what I mean? Like one of them John Deere mules. You could probably do that. But why, being seriously, yeah. See, this is the nonsense. Instead of unity, do you think that it would hurt us in this country as Americans, white or black, if more money came in and if a historical wrong was paid off, if we did not have to pay for it out of our own pocket? I understand none of us had slaves. My family fought on the side of the North, on both sides. My family never owned slaves. I know my whole descendancy, genealogy. What I'm stating, though, is it is reasonable to pay. We paid it to the Native Americans, okay? And right, wrong, or indifferent, we paid that out of our own pocket. It's not paying them off. You make the deal whole. You fulfill the deal. If you don't keep your word, how can you claim that somebody else is breaking theirs? If I tell you I will sell you this and I refuse to do it after I promised to do it, and you've already sold your house and now you have no place to go, you would be upset. Anybody would. What I am stating is that this harms no one here and brings in unity. And that's what this nation needs. It needs to unite as a country, as a people. We are not as divided as everybody makes out. We believe in our families. We believe in this country. We may not believe in how it's being run. We may not all be on the same side of any different number of political issues. But we all believe in unity in this country, and we should. Our union depends on us being together. A divided house cannot stand. A house divided amongst itself cannot stand. It makes sense to solve this terrible atrocity of our history, which was 89 years long from the time that we became a country till the time that we ended in our country. Slavery, not the Jim Crow and the nonsense afterwards, but slavery itself. And during that time, we fought each decade, getting closer and closer to a more perfect union. And as 2026, there's no reason why this promise, this deal that was made, has not been fulfilled. When we have the tools at our hand and a president that will do it, he will tariff other people to pay this back. We just got to get the idea to him. He would have no problem charging anybody else to pay it back. I don't think that that is a terrible idea. I think it is a wonderful idea to do this. I believe that it will unite all of us. And how would bringing money into our communities hurt anyone? It won't hurt the black communities bringing that kind of money in. It won't hurt the white communities because that money will be spent everywhere. It may get spent, let's say it gets spent 80% in black communities. 20% of that free money that was never going to be in the U.S. economy anyways will go into white and Mexican communities. Even if the other 80% went into all black communities, it's still not a net negative. It's a net positive. There's no reason not to argue for this or to fight against this. This should be a uniting thing that we can come together and be like, yes, we can use tariffs to pay back a historical wrong. And it will boost all tides. A rising tide lifts all boats. I spoke that wrong originally, but a rising tide lifts all boats. So us bringing in more to build up our people is good for our people. There is no one in this country that has been here that shouldn't be here. Now, the illegal alien cannot get this money. This needs to go to the people that it's supposed to go to. That would be my one big fear, is that some of this 20 million illegal aliens that's been in here freeloading off of us and leeching out of our pockets and being raised up above us as we are being brought low, as it says in Jeremiah, as that's happening to us, I know that you guys pay the tariffs. Dude, I know that you guys not hurt my pockets one bit. Not hurt my pockets one bit, them tariffs. Hasn't touched me at all. Facts. My prices have all gone down. Even in a state as corrupt as Illinois that keeps jacking up all my taxes, trying to steal the money that I've been given back. Ain't touched me at all. In fact, we're doing pretty good down here. We're building another factory at my plant that I work at. Gonna have 2 more lines. Doing quite well. There's over 1,000 factories being built. But while those factories are being built, this money could stimulate our economy in a way that we haven't ever seen. And it would be good to repay a people that have been wronged. It is righteous to fight for righteousness. It is righteous to fight to provide unity in a country that has been divided for so long. We've allowed our simple differences to divide us, when in all reality, without each other, we would never be. This country's been built and fought for by every race, color, and creed. Yeah, I don't know where you're from, Swiss, but I didn't pay anything for tariffs last year. I don't buy foreign stuff. Like, I really don't. Um, my food prices didn't go up. My food prices went down. Uh, where I live at in Illinois, we didn't see. The only thing that went up for me is the taxes from the government on my house, on my power bill. It's facts, brother. You can look it up. Decatur, Illinois, cheapest place in America to live last year, 2025. So that's some foreigner that's upset. Which I can understand why you might be upset about me calling for tariffs on you guys. Hey, you should be your country first. I'm my country and my people first. And that's all there is to it. I don't dislike you. I don't despise you. I pray for everybody. However, my people and my country are first for me. And I will protect my people as best as I can. The people that work below me, the people that work with me. I do as much as I can in my life to protect them as best as I can. The solution for the tariffs, though, the solution for reparations is tariffs. It's not even debatable. How could this be wrong? He's wanting to give out a tariff rebate. Give the tariff rebate specifically as thank you. Why couldn't it spread? Why shouldn't this be reposted everywhere? I'm telling you, if Donald Trump saw this idea, he would run with it. This is a great unifying moment because we can actually solve our country's issues by bringing ourselves together. The world has hated us forever, and we have had to go and defend the world. We should worry about taking care of ourselves in our own house before we go try to pluck the splinter out of our brother's eye across the sea. We should worry about the big plank sitting right here that's been there for 160 years. And once we get that pulled out of our eye, then we can discuss everything else. But until we pull this out of our own eye, how are we blindly going to go and take that out of our brothers? That's what I believe. And this way, it doesn't harm people who never owned slaves. It assists everybody. Everybody in America. Yeah, okay, buddy. Not seen in our prices. When Amazon talked about passing it down to the people, that got stopped. I don't know. Maybe it does speak volumes of me. That's fine if it does. It drives more American creation. It drives more American invention and building, like we've done for the last 200 years, building up a strong, unified country. During this next year, if we could get this in front of Congress people, this could get passed. But I think this is long enough for this topic, unless anybody's got any questions about what percent I think we would need to hit to be able to pay that. Personally, I think it would be 80% across the board would equal what we needed. That would, if we did 80% just on China, we would get most of that. We're charging them like 10% right now. Except on steel and stuff, that's like 25. Yeah, so 30% is what we're running at right now. So we'd probably need to do, if we did 80% on them. Let's see what we got out of that. 124 billion it got from 30% is what we got from China. Okay, so at 60%, it'd be 204, 248. So at 120, it would be 500 billion. Be a fifth of the way there, just off them at 120%. And yeah, I think that is an easy way to solve this. You only pay tariffs if you buy foreign stuff. You don't buy foreign stuff, you don't pay tariffs. Buy American is what that would mean. Whatever color American you want, but buy American. You know, build American. It brings back the things that we need to do. Back in the 1970s, when there was a growing middle class across the board, black, white, brown, was right when they got rid of the Strategic Materials Defense Act. When they got rid of the Strategic Materials Defense Act, all of our companies started shipping our jobs overseas and allowing other countries to build our stuff and selling us out. We really should go and look back on all those people and try them for treason, because what they did was close down 144,000 American factories. Yeah. No, see, that's why those factories shipped all of our jobs out, because the taxes were at 90%. So they lobbied Congress and got the Strategic Materials Defense Act repealed, which stated that any material that could be used in war had to be made in America. So if that's the cotton going into your clothing, or into your cotton ball for your health care, or that's the needle that's going into your arm for the IV, or that's the IV itself, or that's steel for the guns, or that's brass for the ammo, or that's copper for the ammo, or lead. It didn't matter. All that stuff had to be made in America. That's not BS. That's facts. You can look up the Strategic Materials Defense Act. And when you understand when that got repealed is whenever this got shot out, and all of our jobs got shipped overseas. Go look at it. Go look at how 144,000 factories and thousands of Americans lost their jobs and then had to suffer through impoverished communities like in Detroit, Michigan, like Cleveland, Ohio, like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Places that were thriving communities with good jobs, like Decatur, Illinois, for quite a while. We lost Firestone. We lost Exxon, which was an air conditioning manufacturing company. wonderful place to work, over 3,000 employees. Caterpillar downsized from almost 5,000 employees to 3,000 employees. Our people deserve to have jobs so that they can take care of their families. All races in America deserve to be able to have a job. And shipping our jobs overseas didn't help any of us. And this was all part of the elite's plan to keep us divided. Oh, we just sow this in here. Well, tariffs will solve the reparations issue and bring back the white and black community together, as it should be. So shall it be. That's not true. The 1870s, when before Jim Crow came in, when they got the Ku Klux Klan Act passed to stop the racial tyranny, and the freedmen had been freed, and people were booming in that community and in the white community, was also a great time. And then what happened? They executed one of our presidents, Garfield, and then Jim Crow got passed. Coincidence? What happened in the 1960s? They execute Kennedy. Okay? He was the one that was fighting for the Civil Rights Act. He gets killed. Why? Why, when we are making progress, do they kill the people that make the progress? Because they don't want the unity. Because unity doesn't make them money. They need all of us divided and fighting amongst ourselves. I say we push this to the president. Yes, because he was against their agenda. Thank you, Josh. Yes, that is exactly correct. We cannot allow them to divide us anymore. This could be a unifying moment. White, black, brown in America, we should agree that the slavery should be repaid. The debt should be repaid. And there's no reason why tariffs couldn't be used to do this. Instead of taxing people in the country and trying to divvy out how to tax specific people in this country, they have never owned slaves to pay back reparations because our forefathers refused to pay a bill that came due. We can charge a tariff. Everything imported goes to pay this back. It gets split out whenever it comes in at the end of the year. Bam. If this makes 10% to each person, that's 10%. And then over the next 10 years, it's paid off. If it's all of it at one time, it's all of it at one time. Whatever way it's done, but it should be done. There's no reason not to. When we paid the Native Americans off, we paid them $1 trillion. I think that he's already had 16 different attempts on his life. I'm exaggerating. He just had one the other day down in Mar-a-Lago. I don't think it matters. I think they're going to try to kill him no matter what. I think that this would give him more protection because he would also have the black community finally behind him instead of only having 20% of it. The black community would get behind him if he would back them on this. If he would back them in getting the leg up that they were promised when they were freed. Can you imagine not being able to read and being freed and now being told, oh, good luck? Sounds pretty terrible to me. Not saying that being a slave was better. What I am saying, though, is the 40 acres and a mule, which was a promise that should have been kept, wasn't. This is the way to pay for it. This is the way to pay it back, to pay it forward, to honor a debt that is owed without hurting our country. I mean, somebody give me a reason why this would hurt our country, except that we have to pay more money on our tariffs on foreign goods. Because the rich people are still going to buy the foreign goods. The people that are having to pay this are the rich people that want to buy foreign goods. Okay? And they're probably the families of people that owned slaves originally, if we're being honest, right? So why not let them eat cake? You guys want your foreign goods? Pay the 200% tariff. Here you go. Ta-da. I mean, that makes sense to me. Now, I'm not a economic genius, but I know how to do simple math. And what I'll tell you is that when you stimulate the economy with a half trillion dollars or $1 trillion, that the economy does really well. It jumps up. People start businesses and jobs for people and build factories. People buy stuff for their houses and pay off debts, which builds the economy. So, I mean, I don't know what to. I don't know, you call this RTTR. I mean, I don't know what you would call this. RFT or TRF. I mean, tariffs for restitution, or reparations, or reparations for tariffs. I think it's tariffs for reparations would be better. But I think this is something that we should do. I hope you guys share this, because people's ideas matter. And if we can get a good idea in front of Congress, how could the left or the right argue against this? How could the left or the right argue against this? It hurts no American. I mean, thank you guys. I want you guys to know two things. Jesus Christ loves you, and I love you guys. God bless. I'll be back on in a bit to do my Bible reading. I haven't got my nightly Bible reading in. I hope you guys share this. I really do. That would have to get money off the top first. Oh my gosh, you're talking about the elites? Yes, so the politicians will try to steal money. We've got to keep their hands out of it. We have got to start holding these crooked politicians accountable, man. I mean, seriously, you're so right about that. I'm pinning that. Oh man, I was about to hop off. I had to pin that first. Dang, bro. Yes, we got to hold them accountable. There needs to be a forensic audit on every one of our politicians. I probably shouldn't call for that while I'm asking them to sign this. You know what I mean? But at the same time, there should be. Oh, you're in Kokia, Missouri? Nice. So you buy the Kokia mounds? Those are cool. I know. Oh, Josh. So right. Oh. Yeah, they don't. Oh man, that's frustrating. I think if we did a forensic audit of their accounts, we could prove that they're treasonous. Most of these people are receiving money from foreign governments and not registered as a foreign agent. If you receive any dollars from a foreign entity and you don't register as a foreign agent, that is technically treason, espionage. You are a foreign asset, okay? And most of these politicians receive money from foreign corporations. There's no reason why we should not be able to do a forensic audit in any one of them that has received money from a foreigner and has not declared themselves a foreign agent, a registered foreign agent, should be brought up on charges. And then we should see what all policies they voted on that would have affected that country and their relationship. You know what I mean? That's how we solve this. That's how we solve this. Accountability. It's these same politicians that refuse to pay the bill in the end. Back in the day that caused this to happen now. Back then, we had the territory to do this. Do I call Trump out for it? I call Trump out for a lot of things. One thing that I dislike about what Donald Trump has done, it's one of the things that has hurt my wife specifically, is him doing that newspaper article against the New York Five, the Central Park Five. And I condemn that. He should apologize for that. He should apologize to those men for that. That's not something that should have been done. Now, other things that I call Trump out about is him not standing for the Second Amendment like he said he was gonna. He's been allowing Pam Bondi to be wishy-washy as all get out on our Second Amendment. You know, another thing that I call him out about is not being as hardline as he said he was going to be about immigration. I want these people gone. And I know everybody around me, black, white, brown, blue, and different, wants these illegals out of here too, so that we can get the jobs that they've been getting paid big bucks to do. Because it's hard out here when there is 20 million people that are willing to take that job for half the money that you're willing to work for, because they don't have to pay the same. They don't have to play by the same rules as you. In Illinois specifically, we have the Illinois Supplemental Assistance Program, or ISAP, right? Not to be confused with SNAP. This is specifically for illegal immigrants. Mind you, the illegal immigrants can also get SNAP benefits in Illinois, and do get SNAP benefits in Illinois, which is why Pritzker has refused to release the numbers and the lists to the federal government for an audit, even though they're required by law to do it. And while the rest of Illinois residents are having their food stamps cut, ISAP's still funded because they pulled money out of the Chicago Transit Authority to pay for it. Took money out of the mouths of American citizens to pay for illegals to eat, while American citizens aren't getting their assistance. In the same time that they're kicking out Americans in Chicago to put illegal migrants into their homes on the south side of Chicago, at 21st and State, and a bunch of other places, where they just evicted all the American tenants out of. So, yeah, I call them out for not being stronger and not coming in here into Illinois and smiting our governor, who stole $12.5 billion from the U.S. taxpayer during COVID by mandating masks in our state and owning 3M and then giving the contract to 3M. Oh my gosh. No, brother. They really are. 17 women were killed in this state by illegal immigrants last year that were released from custody by J.B. Pritzker. One of them was decapitated, put in a garbage can, filled with bleach, rolled in and out of the house every day for 3 months while she was SA'd for 3 months. Where's justice for that American's family? I don't want to hear that nonsense. They are the problem. They are a symptom of the problem. The symptom of the elites trying to replace the American citizens that are no longer voting for them, that have woken up to their ridiculous ideology, that have woken up to the nonsense that they promise to do and never deliver, the things that they say they're going to do but never deliver. In my state, they've raised our electric bill 4 times in 5 years. They've raised my property taxes every time for the last 2 years. I didn't own a home the year before that. Oh, that's terrible. That's just the ones that were killed by illegals that had been released after already committing crimes and being arrested. Okay? And we don't need to bring in extra murderers. We have enough of our own. Don't you think? We have enough of our own. Do you think we need to import 15,000 extra murderers into our country? Do you believe that? Do you believe that we need to import 18,500 extra convicted rapists into our country? Do you think we just need to filter out those 20,000 rapists across the country? We have 50 states. What does that equal? 500 a state? That's a ridiculous argument. Not a racist, brother. You can say what you want. It's not racist to want to vet the people coming in. I have no issue with people coming in legally. None. Worked with a guy out in Colorado, Denver, Colorado. His name was Miguel. One of the coolest dudes I've ever met. Gave me a pair of ostrich skin cowboy boots. Miguel was from Juarez, Mexico. Took him 10 years to come here legally with his family. During that time, the CJNG and the Sinaloa cartel were having a war down there. Over 1,500 people killed. And people were crossing the border every day. But he didn't get to come because he was trying to do it the right way. But you're for the people jumping the line. The people that are trying to break the law before they even come here. People that don't get arrested before this administration didn't get arrested. Thank you. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Simon, for bringing somebody's name. Say her name. Ivory Smith. Yes, we are probably going to get the $2,000 checks this year. However, with this new ruling, the extra money that we were supposed to get from the licensing fees, which was going to be significant, will not be coming in. This is a reason we've got to stand together, guys. In this country, as Americans, we need to stand together as Americans, not as some foreign group. We need to stand together as Americans in unity, understanding that we can't help someone else until we help ourselves. We have too many homeless American veterans, too many homeless Americans. There's over 300,000 homeless people in San Diego alone. There's 20,000 of them in New York City. What are we doing? Why are we not doing 20 million homes occupied by illegal immigrants? Okay. And that's a low number. That's a number that's probably about half of what it is. We know that under the U.S. Census, we know that there's 57 million foreign-born people in America. 25 million of them are American citizens. The rest of them aren't. Yeah, exactly. I don't. If we deported 20 million illegals, that's 20 million jobs that are open. Let's say that's 15 million jobs. Let's say it's only 15 million. Let's say that every illegal, only 3 out of every 4 illegals have a job. Let's say only 3 out of 4 have a job. That's 15 million jobs opening, which means wages go up. Because the American workforce is only like 178 million. Hold on. Approximately 163 million is the American workforce. Okay. So if we take 15 million jobs away from that, we're down to 148 million jobs, or 148 million people which is as a percentage. That's a multiplier. Where's the other one? Where's my calculator? So 4, 8 divided by 6. So that's a 10% increase in wages is what that would be. Yes, and if you guys could make your country better over there, you know what you would do? You would stay and fight to make it better. But instead you cower and you run and you come here and mess up our country. No, thank you. Where are we going to go if they come in here and completely destroy our country? Where are we going to go? I mean, seriously, where could we go? Americans are hated everywhere, right? Where could we go if they come in and destroy our country? Nowhere. Where would we be? Where would we even be welcome? Japan, South Korea, Philippines, Guam, not in Europe. Oh, I'm not positive about tomorrow. I'd say in the next 3 days. We're already at war with Iran. Russia, yeah. Russia's giving away land. That is true. However, you're likely to be put on the war front with Ukraine. Just a thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, where are we gonna go? You know what I mean? Like, we have to stand for our own country. We have to protect our own people. We have to protect all the people in America, and we need to right this historical wrong. We right this historical wrong, and if we right this historical wrong on the right side, you know what I mean? It could unify us into a super majority in the next election. It could. If we could get this brought through this year for next year to be paid out, this could do, I would say I'm 40% that the strike happens tomorrow, but most likely it happens probably Wednesday night is what I would bet. Wednesday will be the 25th. That's my bet is to win, because the USS Abraham Lincoln just got over there today, from my understanding. It was 4 days out. It was 4 days out on Friday, so that would put it in the field today, and they're probably going to be getting set up and probably do a couple dry runs in the area to get their pilots used to the air in the area and the area that they're going to be going to do. That would be my best guess. You're not going to come in immediately and do a strike, I wouldn't think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I would think we took 4 days to do the strike on Maduro. So if that helps you out at all. But all right, I thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna get off here so I can go ahead and get into my word. I think I'm gonna finish up Jeremiah tonight, and we'll finish reading about why we shouldn't be worshiping the prophets of Baal and sacrificing our children. God loves you guys. I love you guys. I'm actually hopping off this time. See ya.